Just a little bit of a warning, but I may be a little incoherent right now just because of the crazy random Tuesday drop of what you probably know is the first Splatoon spin-off, Splatoon Raiders. It's kind of crazy that that's happening. I did not expect that, and I'm sure nobody else expected this to be dropped on a random Tuesday. They are dangling a carrot in front of Splatoon fans' heads right now just to buy a Switch 2 because this is a Switch 2 exclusive. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's a little concerned about how much this game is going to cost, but we'll talk about that in a bit because let me tell you, oh man, already just the start of this trailer is just so good. We have what seems to be a pretty simple plot, somewhat showcased to us. It's amazing, first of all, that Deep Cut is back. I'm so glad about that. But it also shows that our character is going to be the mechanic, which is really cool. So the plot so far seems pretty simple. We're a pilot slash mechanic, accompanied by a Deep Cut, who is in the search for a rumor or what seems to be some kind of treasure, anything, a mystery on the Spiralite Islands. Something goes wrong, and bam, the game begins. But that's what I'm wondering about. What is this game going to be exactly? What is it? What type of gameplay should we expect on this new spin-off? And for starters, I kind of want to talk about this frame where it showcases what this map may probably look like, the overview of the whole world. It's similar to previous single-player stories in Splatoon, or more so, very similar to Splatoon 3, where we have the main objective in the middle, and it's surrounded by other islands. And in this one, we could see that we start off on like a regular grassy patch of, or grassy islands, foresty islands, the jungle. I don't know. The second one seemed to be a little bit more stony islands, and then we finally end off with snowy glacier island, and right there in the middle is our objective. But another key factor to what I think this game may be is our home base. This right here gives me huge Subnautica, Raft, and maybe even just Wind Waker vibes, because this home base, the mechanic's home base right here, seems to be like it's maybe upgradable. I really believe that the way we're going to start off this game is we're going to wash up on a random shore. Deep Cut will be there. Bam. We need your help to getting out of here and finding the treasure. All right. Let's survival craft. And boom, we get started with our home base. We start off on this little plank of raft. We slowly upgrade it by gathering resources around the island. And the biggest factor to the resource gathering that this game may involve is that crane. That crane is to me at least, is a helicopter rotor. That thing is definitely being repurposed as a crane because clearly the helicopter exploded or is in not a million pieces, but it shattered, and the pieces are scattered all over the Spiralite Islands, and we being the resourceful mechanic, know what to do, and we build this raft. And I mean, come on, you can't tell us that we're going to be repurposing things. Just look how resourceful the mechanic is. They used a water bottle and other doohickeys to make a splatter shot, and what seems to be, I don't know, some kind of pot, a bunch of pots and lids for this ink tank and thingamabobs they have on their back. And I mean, look at that fan. That thing has 3 hoses on it. It kind of seems like a makeshift sprinkler to me. Maybe these are our sub-weapons that we could upgrade every now and then. We have the homemade sprinkler on the left, and maybe, like, I don't know, a splat bomb on our right. I just really like it. But who even are we? Who is the mechanic? We are clearly not a kid, because we have a piloting license. We can fly a helicopter. That is drastically different to anything that we've seen in this game, which is amazing. We're not a squid kid just going to play turf war. We're a squid adult piloting a helicopter with some very important idols. I don't know. And of course, let me not forget to mention we have Freckles, so I really wonder what kind of customizations there'll even be in this game, but let's just move on for now. What is the raft for exactly? I mean, clearly it's home base, but having a crane kind of makes me feel like maybe we'll be using it to gather some things that are in the water, since we're inklings. We can't access the water, so we're just gonna die if we try to go in the water. So hey, let's use this rotor as a crane. Boom, we get whatever's in the ocean. Another thing that I want to say is I feel like this raft could probably be a moving raft. I know it looks like it's a stationary base as of now, but I don't think it's really connected to the ground. So maybe this moves. This is our way of transportation around the islands. We use this as not only our home base, but as the way to get from one island to the other. And to get to the next island, we'll need to grab a bunch of resources to upgrade our raft to explore maybe worse terrains. But I don't know. This game really, to me at least so far, points to be some kind of survival craft. Not entirely just pure sandbox survival craft, but maybe some kind of resource gathering with PvE mechanics, because that's one thing that they didn't even showcase. They didn't even showcase the enemies. Clearly the most obvious enemy that we could go with is the salmonid. You would imagine that salmonid would appear and show up so to stop us, or maybe we invaded an island they control, but we don't know what the enemies are. It could be an entirely brand new enemy, which is amazing, and honestly, I wouldn't mind that at all. But from the looks of this so far, just these two, the frame of the overview of the entire island and this base just give me huge some kind of survival crafting resource gathering PvE game. Because let's not forget to mention how the gameplay seems to be in a semi-openish world. I don't want to say it's fully open world, but it definitely seems like we're going to be in large areas gathering resources, materials, or just doing some kind of quests that involve the rumors and this map that apparently Deep Cut got a hold of in a basement. And also, there's our big submarine-looking buddy. Like I said earlier, we can't swim, we can't get stuff underwater. Clearly, we could use our crane, or we can use our submarine buddy here, which very much looks like it could be an underwater device where you pull this hatch, you go in, and you view stuff through the big monitor. I don't know. I know it's way too early to tell what genre this game is going to be. Clearly, it's a shooter with elements of another type involved, but Splatoon right now seems to be covering a lot of different mixed genres. Recently, we got the roguelite genre, the shooter roguelite with Side Order, but could this be some kind of survival craft game? By the sounds and looks of it, it seems like that may be the case, at least to me. I mean, come on. We crash on an island, we're stranded, and we have to go look for resources while also trying to reach the last objective. So, honestly, I really believe it'll be some kind of not fully open world or sandbox, but definitely resource gathering survival craft game. Shooter. But I don't know. We'll just really have to wait to see for the next direct. But back to what I said in the beginning. Let's talk about the price, because oh my goodness, how much is this game going to cost, first of all? As we all know, the standard of Nintendo Switch 2 games is now $70. If there's going to be a new Switch game, it's going to be $70. Pokemon ZA is going to be $70. Metroid Prime 4 will probably be $70. And everything else that also got announced in the previous direct will probably be $70. However, as we also know, some games will be $80, which is kind of messed up that they set this standard and now everybody else is following suit. But I feel that this game won't be $80. At most, this will probably be a $70 game. At the least possible amount, if for some reason we get extremely lucky, maybe it's a $50 game. I'm getting some pretty big vibes that this may be considered, to at least Nintendo, semi-open world. A big survival island adventure that we have to go on. And I don't think that constitutes the $80 price line. Maybe it's $70 because it is just a spin-off Switch game. And it is on the Switch too. But maybe if we're lucky, if it's considered a spin-off game, and I know it's single, so far it feels like it's going to be single player and only single player. Maybe it is somewhat multiplayer and you get to play with friends. I don't think they would go that route. But if it is just single player, which it definitely seems to be, and if we get lucky, maybe it could be $50 to $60, but who knows? This mysterious spin-off that we only get a minute of could go anywhere. It could be a completely different type of genre, not a survival craft resource gathering. It could probably be PvE. Maybe soul. No, I don't know. No, I know there's gonna be some PvE elements in there with a brand new enemy type, maybe, but I don't know. This is so crazy. And have I mentioned that Deep Cut is just getting their own game? Like, that's awesome. That's beautiful. I didn't even mention that what the roles of each Deep Cut member are going to be in this game. They're all dressed differently. They all have different type of gear, it seems. And by the looks of it, I mean, Shiver has a fishing rod, so maybe there's some kind of fishing minigame with Shiver. I don't know much about Fry. I can't really tell what we could do with Fry, but Big Man's got a whole survival island bear grill suit on. Like, what are we gonna do with him? Is he our deep sea navigator? Are we gonna go deep sea diving with Big Man in our submarine buddy? But I don't know, man. It's just, the possibilities are endless, because not only is this a single player game from the looks of it, but we're literally going into uncharted territories, which means that we can easily expand even further upon this world's lore that we know so much about, but also know so little, because there's just such uncharted territories. And this is one that we're going to so far away from civilization, so we get to learn more about the world and just what exists out there. And let me not forget to mention whatever this thing is. That kind of looks like a squid. Maybe like a kraken? I don't know, man. But when is it gonna release? I don't know. If it releases this year, then it could release in any month. It seems that Nintendo could release at least one new Switch 2 exclusive game every single month with the current lineup that we know of. This could just be added this year to the release date. But when will it be? Who knows? Because honestly, all we can really do now is speculate and wait. I feel like I may have missed a few things that I wanted to say, but I'm going to call it there. I have rambled incoherently for as long as I can. I could probably have gone on, but it probably would have just been so awfully made. I'm just spitballing here, man. But hey, I guess we'll just have to wait and see for ourselves. So see you next time. And don't worry, next time will actually be a proper video that I've been working on. I kind of wanted to release it before, or on the day of the Splatoon anniversary, but don't worry. It'll be better than this. Okay, goodbye.